All right, November 6th, number 2. All right, hello, party people. So, hey, this is just an observation of some things that I witnessed last night on TikTok. War Within, powerful, my friend. I only caught you for a little bit last night for the live discussion. Those of you that were able to catch that, there was a debate that the War Within guy did with some atheists. I only caught probably about 20 minutes of it. But it was super amazing. And I just want to encourage you, War Within guy, I just want to let you know that you and the True Christian Ministry guy are always inspiring me and encouraging me to continue to reach out to non-believers. And I'm sure you're doing that with many other people. But there's some observations last night that I saw that I just wanted to touch base on. For those of you that were watching, what's very disturbing is the amount of Marxism and communism that has infiltrated our universities. There was an attempt at one point by one of the people that were discussing with War Within guy, when the War Within guy was making it clear that he had studied all the different books, and there was a certain level of understanding and knowledge that he was bringing to the table. And whenever this, and so throughout the conversation, there were people that kept commenting about how prideful or something was, and there was just a real lack of understanding about the entire reason that was brought up. Now, those of you that are young that are watching this video, recognize that in communist Marxist countries, when communism takes over, they kill everybody that is educated. And the reason for that is because they're brainwashing the children because they don't have any knowledge base. And so children and youth are like sponges, right? They're brand new. Their brains are just like sponges. You're going to absorb everything. And when you're absorbing poison and you don't realize you're absorbing poison, those are that's why they use children. That's why all throughout history, evil empires have used children, and they use their children against their own parents and against people that have that know better. And the reason for that is that they can have their power and influence. So what was so sad is at one point when War Within mentioned, I have a doctorate, he wasn't saying that to brag. And this other person was like, what did he call it? A point of authority or authority. I can't remember how he phrased it, but it was a way of dismissing that statement by War Within by making this statement that made it sound like it's dismissed because he's trying to use authority point or something. I can't remember how they phrased it, but it's totally a Marxism communist thing, and it's a way to shut down what he was saying. And the whole point of what he was saying was that when you're talking to someone who has gone through that level and that much time spent in education, you're talking about discipline, study, focus, and you're talking about years long. So 12 years for basic education, 2 years for an associate, another 2 years for a bachelor, another 2 years for a master, and God only knows how long for a doctorate. Okay, you're talking about someone who has spent years being extremely focused, very controlled in how you spend your time, and studious, and that's completely lost. That was completely lost on the conversation. I mean, it had nothing to do with pride. It had everything to do with a lifestyle and what you were bringing to the table. That not only did you have a doctorate, but you had studied all these other books that reinforce your argument. When one of the guys sounded like he had some education, but again, there was just if you're not studying the enemy, like Sun Tzu says, you have to know your enemy, right? So you can't say that everything is a fable and is not true when you haven't even done the work to study it. And so the War Within's whole point is that, he's done the work and he's open, he wants to discuss. And then another really telling thing that I thought was amazing was when War Within wanted to talk to the other guy who seemed pretty educated, the atheist guy, and wanted to talk to him one-on-one because the War Within's passion is salvation. He wants to reach people for salvation. He doesn't care about likes. He doesn't care about the TikTok world. And the other guy wanted to do it on TikTok. So I thought that was very interesting. He didn't want to do a one-on-one. He wasn't as interested in that. So anyways, it was just very, very telling. This for you kids out there, I just want you to understand that there is something that has seeped into our education system and into the mindset of the youth. We've allowed perversion in our school systems. We've allowed Marxism and communism in there. That's why homeschooling is just flying through the roof. And how you can see, the other thing, I forgot to say this, the other thing that War Within mentioned is how War Within mentioned that at the time of Adam, that Adam was extremely intelligent, way more intelligent than us, and that we are going down by generation in intelligence, and that there's a difference. And he's so completely right. Okay, for instance, if there's a book by Bill Bennett that it is a book full of letters from our founders, the founders of the nation. I'm not bragging about myself, but I've got a college degree and I have some master's level work. And yet when I read that book, I had to read paragraph after paragraph over and over because it is so complicated and it's so intelligent. Same thing with some of the New Testament books, like the book of Romans. So there's a reason I haven't gone into the book of Romans yet in my daily studies. I mean, this stuff is thick. This stuff there's so much there, so much depth, and in the way it was written is so intelligent. The stuff you read now does not compare. I mean, there's just no comparison. So I would absolutely 100% agree that you are seeing a dumbing down in our educational system, and there's a reason for that. They don't want people to be able to recognize evil and recognize when they're being duped. So anyways, also, I saw a kid, just on another topic. So anyways, War Within, good job. You were amazing. I knew you would be. We need to pray and lift up these other people because they are definitely blinded, and it's very sad. So then the other thing I wanted to point out is I do friend some people on TikTok that are so lost. There was this guy, I'm not going to say his name, starts with an R. I saw him on a live last night, and his eyes were so dark and so sad, and he's so young, and just a sense of like he's seen everything and done everything, and all I kept seeing was him undone before Christ. I mean, without all the makeup, without the fingernails, just undone before Christ, and he was so beautiful, and he was so amazed. And so I'm praying for this kid. It's just so tragic. But anyway, TikTokers, just want to give a shout out to War Within. You did great. I just pray that I have more passion and more ability to talk and to encourage people that are lost like you and the True Christian Ministry guy does. You guys are doing an awesome job. All right. Love you guys. Jesus is coming. Read your Bible. Peace.